So our root chakra connects us to the root of who we are, much of what our personality, what we call our personality, which is actually a combination of chemical reactions and in our body that's based on experiences that we've had and beliefs and definitions that we've given those experiences. So when you think about it in the most basic level, it makes sense across the board that for us to be in tune with our own internal rhythms, with the way our energy moves, with how we are responding to the world around us, to what definition we're giving to the experiences that we have, that all of this, it would make sense that all of this would be crucial. In fact, the main thing we were focusing on and giving our attention to in this world. Because if we want to have harmony with ourselves, if with our own bodies and with the planet, then we need to be in tune with ourselves and with our body and with the planet. And oftentimes when we have PTSD or trauma that we haven't dealt with, or just beliefs and definitions that are out of alignment with our true self, we form a really distorted relationship with our body and with the world around us, with people we know, with our relationships. We give everything a meaning that often doesn't inherently have. If we believe that we're unworthy of love, anything that happens to us will interpret through the lens of the belief that we have, which is, I'm unworthy of love. So it is absolutely crucial that we allow ourselves to connect to the base of who we are, the root. The root here is connected to all that we are based on all that has gone before us. So there's a tremendous amount of even just taking a moment to tune into that a part of what you are, the miracle that makes up what you are, is a combination of lives and events and stories that have unfolded millions of years before you, and thousands of years, and then hundreds, and then but you can trace yourself back to that through that entire human story. That is literally the blood running through your veins. It is literally the spark that's animating the divine force or life force that's animating your spine. And that spine is connected to your central nervous system. And your central nervous system is connected to your electromagnetic field, how things at any given moment feel to you. And that's connected to your auric field, which is responsible largely, pretty much, I believe, completely, it's like our spaceship, for attracting the reality we experience. You could really think of it as think of your sphere, your electromagnetic field around your body. Think of that as your spaceship, and think of your navigation system, the way you steer, through your heart. This is the central intelligence system, and it's through how things feel, not what you think about things, not what you believe about things. This has nothing to do with beliefs and definitions. Think of vibration, think of frequency. Does this feel in my body like it's opening my body up, like more life is coming through, like more life force is coming through? Or does it feel like I'm shutting down, like I am disconnecting from life force? I can't put it in any simpler of terms. And I think where we get mixed up so often in our world is we are so attached to beliefs and definitions. And if someone says something and that word triggers us, and it triggers a fight or flight based on a belief that we may have, we immediately get out of alignment with our true intuition. And many times we confuse our intuition, we confuse our fear, our fight or flight mechanisms for intuition. Especially empaths. I have a really bad feeling about this. One of the biggest struggles empaths have, I think I mentioned this in the other video, is being able to distinguish between what is an actual alert in the body, an instinctual alert where your intuition and your physical body's telling you there's danger here. Usually that's related to animal instinct when there is a predator. Like I've been hiking before. This happened to me one time in Sedona, and I could just feel I was being scanned. I could just feel it, like an animal or predator is scanning me. And sure enough, I looked to the left of me, and there was a bobcat, pretty big bobcat, and it was kind of far away, but looking at me, like it just paused, and it was like, And I could tell it was scanning me for whether I was a threat. That is a real system that we have, and it's intelligent, and it's there for a reason. And our intuition's there for a reason. Everything that we have been given in this life is a gift and a tool to navigate this reality. Nothing was given to us by mistake, and especially not our emotions, not our feelings, not our intuition. That was not given to us. We didn't evolve to get those things for no reason. So the point is utilizing them. And obviously, this conversation could go so many ways because of the pollution that's on our planet and the toxins we're constantly being exposed to, and our bodies constantly responding to high levels of stress that was not really what the type of environment our ancestors were in. So we are literally in the process of learning how to evolve right now in a different world. We are in a different world. We're in a different reality. And half of our reality is virtual. The internet itself has its own consciousness. So we are, whether we really want to embrace it or not, we are artificial intelligence at this point, whilst also being real and human and have blood running through our veins. And this is that unique balance of balancing our higher selves, or the part of us that is just the complex, amazing mind that is always going to evolve. It's always going to find a way to survive. And that you're connected to that. We are connected to that. And part of being in alignment with that is allowing our third eye, our minds, to be connected to that pure divine potential of life, surviving. And we do what we do best, is just survive. Where the heart comes in is it tells the mind the story of how survival feels. The heart is the action. The heart is it's the only reason we keep coming back, because it creates desire, it creates love, it creates attachments. And those are all good things because it's all a part of us. It's us learning to love and fall in love with what we are. Doing this exercise of bringing your awareness fully to your root chakra is the beginnings of a journey and really getting keenly connected to your instincts and your intuition and your survival. And as much as we want to spiritualize all this, you can really take it down to pure physics. And often when we do that, it helps release the mind from superstition and things that we've believed in the past that have caused, at this point, they're not in alignment with our new reality that we're in. So much of what's going on here for all of us is a cleansing, literally the neural pathways in our brains getting broken away and new neural pathways are forming. So while we're going through this transition, we are simultaneously dying and coming back to life at the same time. And the root chakra is the center for that action. As I talked about in the PowerPoint video, all of our chakras, if we connect to them in a way of seeing them as a sphere that holds perfectly the balance between life and death, that if they're properly allowing life force to come through, if we're in alignment with life force will always come through exactly where it's needed, in exactly which area of our body it's needed. It will always heal, it will always restore, it'll always bring us back to life, because that is what life does. But we have to be connected to life. If we want to be connected to that evolution stream, we have to connect to the transmitter, to where it's coming from. The receiver has to be connected to the transmitter. And the transmitter is that amazing consciousness that we have that is in us and above us and beyond us. Everything that makes up what we are, this amazing, complex, incredible miracle that we call life. All the consciousness of that life is connected at one source. And we have direct access to that source. And much of what we've done up to this point in living our lives is we've been in a process of death. We've believed in death so strongly. We're fighting so hard to hold on to health and to life and to people's right to live and right to do this and right to do that. We're fighting for it because suddenly we're realizing what? the imminent change, maybe? What are we realizing? There's a huge shift. Everyone is aware that something's happening. Even the people who are not at all even into any spiritual or intuitive sort of practice. So as you connect to your root chakra, as you allow yourself to connect to that incredible miracle of your central nervous system, think about the life that animated it. Think about how you just suddenly ended up in your mother's womb, at one point an egg and a cell, and you have no memory of that most likely, and whatever those substances were, and how something drove them together, something pulled them together, and then those cells started multiplying. You didn't have to figure out how to become. You just became. There was no resistance to life flowing through you, and that is why we just became. And that is why when we're children, we continue to just become. And I truly believe that's why in the Bible it says, in order to enter the kingdom of God, you must do it like a child. Not naive. What is that childlike, though, however? It's the spirit of life, that childlike energy. It's where we still allow our hearts to just live, to do unpredictable things, to surprise us. And it always will, because the heart is ahead of the brain. And it's in terms of how things are all connected. Because the heart, the reason why life springs forth in the first place is because of a genuine desire to live, which is where love comes from. So all of this is just a roundabout way of saying this week, as you've connected to your root chakra, you've connected to an incredible intelligence system that is entirely set up for you to survive and for you to thrive. And it's always going to find a way. And so there's nothing we have to do. There's nothing we have to understand even. All that's needed is a surrender and a trust in life force. And this whole practice of connecting to our chakras and becoming aware of our spinal cord and aware of how light and life force moves through our body is to become literally aware of our own power, our own consciousness, our own ability to just love and what that does. Scientifically, it's backing it up now. Science is backing up. The heart generates emotions that can clear negativity, sometimes within a 25-foot radius, can harmonize a space, positive emotions. There's no debate at this point of whether or not we are the ones doing this. We are doing this. So any part of our identity, any part of our ego that was previously attached to any of the roles from the previous paradigm, which was the aggressor, savior, victim paradigm, we're going to have to come to a reckoning with that. We have to overcome. So if we've primarily identified as a victim, we have to overcome our victim mentality, because life is just wanting to create more life. Life is not against you. There's not some plot to stop you in particular. Your life force is either moving through you and animating you, or it's being blocked within you and choking the life out of you. One or the other. It's as simple as that. And I think it's sometimes in moments like these, in transitions like these, and shifts like these, it's important to stick to the basics, stick to common sense, be practical about why you're doing this in the first place. Regardless of all the story, the beautiful, amazing, incredible stories that come from our human experiences and all the meanings we give those stories, there's also something just incredibly organic and natural and is what it is, which is life coming into life, and it will always want to create more life. So this week, as you shift, connect, as we start going into the sacral chakra, connect to your root chakra and start bringing that energy up into the sacral chakra and start feeling life. Just imagine life force spinning through your root chakra, alivening, giving it vitality, giving it force to clear anything that needs to be cleared, to come alive where it needs to come alive, and start seeing that move up to your sacral chakra. And next week, we're going to be working on the sacral chakra. So please share your experience connecting with the root chakra. And I'm really excited to go into the sacral chakra next week. Okay, ciao.